Okay, this is 5.8C, College Algebra Partial Fractions. I'm at the top of page 514 in our third example. Now, notice this one. When we were talking earlier about P of x over Q of x. Now, the past couple of examples we worked on, the Q of x degree was greater than the P of x degree. So we did our partial fraction decomposition based on that. Well, this one here, my P of x is greater than my Q of x as far as the degree of the denominator. Now, when that is true, we get to do what you all love more than life itself. We get to divide. 6x cubed plus 5x squared plus 0x, don't forget to put the 0x in there, minus 7, divided by 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. And we do our long division. So I'm just going to kind of get started here. 3x squared goes into 6x squared. 3 goes into 6 2 times. X squared goes into x cubed. All you do there, x squared and x cubed, is take the difference between your denominators, and that's how many x's go in your quotient. So it's just 1x goes there. Okay? Now we multiply. And remember, we multiply 2x times this, 2x times this, 2x times this, and put them in row right here. So I'm just going to do that. So 2x times 3x squared will always give you here, always, so that those will end up canceling out, minus 4x squared minus 2x, and then we subtract. So 5x squared minus a negative 4x squared will give me 9x squared because it's adding. And then we've got 0x minus a negative 2x give me a plus 2x and bring down the 7. I divide the 3x squared into the 9x squared. Take the difference between the exponents here, and it's 0, so there is not going to be an x there. So it's just 3 into 9 gives me 3. And then I do my multiplication again, and I get 9x squared minus 6x minus 3. And when I subtract, I get 8x minus 4. And I know to stop there because I have no other numbers to bring down. When I don't have anything to bring down, I am done. That ends up being my remainder. So my answer is going to be 2x plus 3 plus 8x minus 4 over this, because remember the remainder goes over this over here. So I get for an answer, and let me pop this up a little bit. Get that out of my way. I get for my answer 2x plus 3 plus my remainder 8x minus 4 over, never remember it's the dividend or the divisor. I get that for an answer. Okay, so one of the things that's important here is this is not a fraction. So this is part of my answer. I don't have to decompose that. That is fine. It'll just tag on the answer at the end. What I do have to do is decompose this. Now notice what happens, and this will always happen. Now my fraction, my p part of my fraction, the degree of the numerator is less than the degree of my denominator. That is the only reason I did this long division here, is so that I would get a fraction where my degree of my numerator is less than the degree of my denominator, because it pulled this out. So by pulling that out, it changed that my P of x was bigger than my Q of x degree. So it switched it around. That's the only reason I did this. So now I'm just looking at the remainder here, to do my decomposition of fractions. So I might rush a little bit to do this because we just did one, and we did a hard one, and this one's pretty easy. But what we have to do, first of all, we have to break this down into linear factors. So 8x minus 4, and that's going to be over 3x plus 1 times x minus 1. So we factor that down. Okay, and then that is going to equal a over 3x plus 1 plus b over x minus 1. Okay, then we go ahead and we do our, what am I missing here that I have here? So I'm going to have my a times x minus 1 over 3x plus 1 times x minus 1. And then my b, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm missing a 3x plus 1 here. So I put it on top and bottom. And when I do that, then my denominators disappear and these join together. So let me put that on here. Again, get some of this out of my way. Alright, so now I have 8x minus 4, my original, that I'm just going to bring down, equals that. Alright, so now I'm going to get rid of my denominators, they disappear. Okay, so remember at this stage, I find out how I'm going to get rid of this a. Well, if I put a 1 here, that's going to make this 0 and just give me that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 in there. So 8 times 1 minus 4 equals a times 1 minus 1 plus b times 3 times 1 plus 1 gives me 4 equals, that goes away, b times 3 plus 1 is 4, and that gives me my b value then of 1. So I'm going to replace this b here with 1 then. Okay, so that's what that number is going to be, 1 over x minus 1. Now what I'm going to do is the exact same thing I did to find b, only let's go all the way back up to this equation right here. So I put a 1 here to get rid of the a, so I need to find a number here to get rid of the b. So 3x plus 1 equals 0, so if I can make that equal to 0, multiply it by b, my b will disappear. And so 3x plus 1 gives me a negative 1/3. So if I put a negative 1/3 in here for each of these x's, I'll end up finding my a value, and my a value is going to be 5. When I do all of this kind of work there, plug that negative 1/3 in for x. So then this will change to a 5, and this answer right here is my decomposition of my partial, decomposing into my partial fractions.